Afternoon, VC. All right, welcome back to the fucking Amazon rainforest. So I apologize. You're gonna hear the rain battering my AC units again. Is what it is. This is what time I have to make the video, so we're making the video. Got some records that have come in over the last month or so that I have yet to show. So that's, you know, what we do here in the vinyl community. Show records, talk a little bit about them, those types of things. Firstly, rarely do I bust out the Chicago Bears gear, but today we are playing the Cleveland Browns, which is my mom's team. So it's a house divided, and I gotta represent. House divided, so to speak. So Ditka God Bears, in that order. All right, and we'll get to these records kind of in order of them coming in. I have not had a chance to talk about this record. I actually was able to talk a little bit with Dom on the stream last night, and actually a lot of these records I shown in the stream last night, which was a lot of fun. Richie popped in and Maslow, excellent. Alex, Motor 247, Brandon, Faust in the Head, Dom doing his year wrap up. It was a fun stream. Went on for a couple hours. But yeah, the Material Objects Passing Through EP. I've spun this 4 or 5 times now. I really love this release from Dom. They've gone in a different direction since Content vs. Carrier with this. I'm very eager to hear the new full length that they'll be recording. If it goes in this direction, I dig it. 4 tracks. The packaging is really great. Some nice photos. I think from a drummer's trip to Europe maybe is in here. Let's see if I can do this. It's a fold out EP, and so the record kind of just sits in here, and it sounds fantastic. And yeah, like Richie said, the vocals are buried a little bit, but that was purposely done. I think my system, they come through fine. This sounds great. Very well recorded. And I got a nice note here from Dom with a Material Objects, I think, sticker. Glad you seem to be doing better. Hope you enjoy and definitely get a tape player, or do you have one? Because I also got the reel-to-reel. Always a bonus. Hopefully you don't have this Dub Syndicate. It is dope. See you soon, Dom. And I'll show that record next. Some great VCLT, always from Dom. Yeah, here's the insert. Really cool insert. The thing I found interesting about this that I forgot to bring up to Dom last night was this was recorded at Softwax Record Pressing in Philly, where Ataria Rosenberg from the band Rid of Me works, and she runs the press. So she could have actually pressed these records, which is, and Rid of Me was my record of the year. And so that's very cool. And this was definitely my EP of the year. But yeah, Harness, the first song is an epic track. Long track, builds, has a great breakdown. I dig the lyrics. Really cool. Reminds me of early Brahms to chorus in the sound. That epic instrumental thing going on. Yeah, really dig the guitars, bass. The whole band is phenomenal. So yeah, the second song is Take Flight's more of a rocking number. Side B I really dig because both songs remind me of early Trail of Dead, and you know it's by the Trail of Dead from Austin. Especially the last track, the vocal style is in the structure, the song, just the whole song structure reminds me of a Trail of Dead song, how it builds. Cadence is fantastic. A little bit of piano in the beginning. That song also kind of builds the bass the bass player especially really stands out on cadence. Yeah, a little bit of Sonic Youth sound in there. I thought of Kim Gordon for a second, but then I keep thinking about early Trail of Dead, which I don't think are, you know, Trail of Dead's any real influence on the band. It's just what it reminds me of, which is great because it's one of my favorite bands ever. Hell of a release. Just with, you know, Dom being a record guy, there was a lot of thought put into how he wants his record released, and this couldn't have been any cooler. And I really love the that reminds me of home. It's the it's a picture of the in the Adirondacks, in the forest somewhere. So that's also great about this release. So yeah, so congrats, Dom. This is, and I guess the release show went great. Chimes of Bayonets is also a great band. If no one's here is familiar with them, I suggest checking them out on Bandcamp also. And I think Dom might have a couple copies left of this, maybe. I think he might have 2 copies left of the Reel to Reel. So jump on it. I'll see if I can't. Maybe I'll jam this at the end of the video. We'll see how I'm feeling. The rain. I shouldn't even be doing this video today, but it's monsoon again out here. This was the record he threw in as a bonus, the Dub Syndicate the pounding system. I think he got an original at WFMU, so passed on the reissue to me. On You Sound, great stuff. Crucial Tony is on this. Anything with him is going to be badass. Yeah, there's a song, track 7, Crucial Tony tries to rescue the Space Invaders with only 10p. That's this is some good stuff, some good dub. Thank you, man. I got a record off of the dreaded Whatnot. Matt up at in Raleigh with Vinyl Reckoning was selling some records. He bought the Glassjaw box set that just came out, like anniversary set or something, which I'm not gonna get. And so he sold some of his individual Glassjaw records. One of them, which is hard to find, and this is not a first press. I think it's a first reissue of a coloring book. Glassjaw from Long Island, from back in the, I guess it was the 90s. Yeah, I've seen them a few times. Once at Tremont, once at one of the festivals here. What was that one big festival? I don't know, they're a great band. Palumbo, the lead singer, he's really unique. Heavy band. Melodic at times, but I don't know. They're kind of their own deal, and they have a big following. And this one's a tough one to find. It's a weird record on how it's all in pieces. So it's a 7-inch, a 10-inch, and a full length, but in pieces. It's the weirdest record I own. Great band, very influential band in that heavy scene from that time. Love the guitars. Oh yeah, and let's see. Here's the Reel to Reel. I don't have a player here. There is one in New York somewhere, either my uncle's or in the back room at my Graham's house. So I'm gonna have to get a hold of that. And then that'll be a problem because then I'll want to get more reel to reels, but that's just the deal. Next is a record. I saw it on Permanent. It's the only record I've gotten from Permanent Records in a long time, but it's Lesson 1 from Glenn Branca. This is the Superior Viaduct reissue, so it's cheap. Really dig the guitar sound on this from Glenn. It's really freaking good stuff. Can get Avant. I don't know. It's a whole scene that Dom's been talking about, the Neutral Records and 9-9 Records and that kind of thing. I can't remember which one this was on originally. One or the other, but it's a double in perfect shape, so I was happy to get that. I didn't have any of this stuff, this early New York scene, so that was a good one to get. Speaking of early New York scenes, I had watched this DVD that came out on Record Store Day last year, The Birth of Punk Rock in New York City Nightclubbing, which is the story of Max's Kansas City, that club. This is phenomenal. Yeah, love this DVD. And the New York Dolls were big at that time at that club, and so I picked this up at Noble. I had to pick up a record. I was getting flattened, and original first pressing, first of New York Dolls, was from 1973. Very stoked to get that. So the first, New York Dolls glam album. But he also had this, and this I'm pretty much done with Beatles. I didn't have a copy of Abbey Road, so here is one, and it's a 1971 UK. It's about I think a second press of this, and yeah, great copy. So, and at 50 years old, first time listening to this all the way through, which Maslow thought was crazy, but that's the deal. Obviously I had heard the singles a million times. With the Beatles, I always never thought there was any need to get their records because I hear it everywhere. That's kind of changed. Now the music that you hear everywhere is complete shite. But come together in something, I had heard those songs, great songs on the A side. But Maxwell's Silver Hammer and Octopus's Garden, they don't need to be on anything. That is straight circus music, total horse shit. But the last song on the A side, I Want You, She's So Heavy, song builds heavy as fuck. Love that song. That is a badass song. Side B is phenomenal all the way through, and it all flows into one. And then they talk about the Queen at the end. This is a damn good record. This might even be my second favorite Beatles record, after Revolver, because of how great the B-side is and how great that song is at the end of. I just wish it didn't have those two circus tunes. Other than that, yeah, you don't need to hear much about that record anyway. Got a package from Jose in Monterrey, Mexico. He runs Aurora Central Records, and he does a lot of stuff for Merzbow, great experimental electronic noise artist from Japan, and he sent this as a gift with the record that I bought, by Bractons. And this is different than the other definitely different than the other Merzbow stuff I have. This is a little more accessible. I have a few 7 inches that are harsh, but that's pretty good. And I dig the Merzbow stuff with Boris a lot. But this is a very cool record, of excellent release. And the thing that's really cool is on the back. This is I think he said this is the only time that Merzbow's let his setup be photographed or used or shown, so you can kind of get a peek into his world and how he's actually making the noise. So there you go, the pedals and the whole nine. Very fucking cool. But I had gotten this test press of a 7-inch they're putting out with Mats Gustafsson involved. I think he's playing sax with a punk band. I haven't even gotten to break the seal on this yet. I've been so busy, but looking forward to jamming this. Title Alsta Finns Jag. I don't know a whole lot about it. I just know he said it is a test press with Mats Gustafsson, rare shit, with a punk outfit out of Sweden. So it's here, and I'm stoked to get into that. What else we got here? Pre-order from Lunchbox months back. One of my favorite records, Hopes Fall. This is the Satellite Years. Trustkill Equal Vision, the reissue. And there's a bunch of reissues of this that they did, different versions. This is the kind of clear, it's a clear black. They redid a little bit of the artwork on this. These are pretty cool. They're 45 RPM, so the music spread out sounds really good. Yeah, you can see it's a weird, translucent black, which is really cool. They're a touch warped. So the packaging is the way they do these thick gatefolds like this kind of screws things up when the shrink wrap's really tight on new records. That's something they need to think more about. Packaging the records outside the sleeves, like BBE does, Barely Breaking Even. When they ship records new, they take the records and put them in the middle so they don't warp. But you know, not every record company's smart. And I also grabbed this. The band Hum from Champaign-Urbana, Champaign, Illinois, remastered their whole catalog, and yeah, this is also one of my favorite records. Downward is Heavenward. This sounds absolutely incredible on my system. This is one of the best sounding records I've heard. This was really well done. God damn. A lot of great songs on this. I love Miss Lazarus that ends the side one. I Owe the Cheetahs great. Coming Home. Green to Me was the big hit, but it's probably my least favorite on the record. The Scientists that ends this record is great, but side 4 is 3 unreleased tracks, and I had never heard them. Boy Was Stick is fucking badass. Great guitars. Earth Analog Records, originally from 1997. This is this year's reissue, one of the best reissues of the year. Matt Talbot is, and interesting, I got it the same day as Hopes Fall. He's produced Hopes Fall. Yeah, so this is probably the best reissue sonically of the year for me. Really, really, really good. And I have some of their other records now, but it makes me want to buy these remasters. I might have to get the rest. Let's see. Next up, I dipped into Repo to pick up a record for a friend. He had bought it on Discogs, wanted me to pick it up for him. It was a Prince record. And I found 2 records in the used while I was in there. Monk Palo Alto on Impulse. This was $16 used. I had heard that this record had a lot of warp issues. This one wasn't, and was happy to find a used copy unsealed so I could look at it. Great live performance from California that had never been released, from 1968. Some Monk, one I had missed out on when it came out, so I was happy to find that. And then saw this, and I'd never seen this in a bin, so I went ahead and grabbed it. It's a 3-record set, box set. Shut Up and Play Your Guitar from Frank Zappa, in mint condition. This has never been played. was interesting. I was just talking with Teddy on the phone. And I told him I saw that it said variations on the Carlos Santana Secret Chord Progression was one of the songs, and that sold me. He goes, yeah, but look at the song title after that. Gee, I Like Your Pants. This is going to be great. No vocals, I understand, is on this. Why it's called Shut Up and Play Your Guitar. But it's him, you know, it's not just him, it's him with a band. So this is going to be killer. And then, last but not least, I was out running errands, and I dipped into Lunchbox yesterday to grab the last two that have currently been put out of the remastered colored variants of the Lungfish records. My #1 favorite band of all time. And I got Talking Songs for Walking, which I've got, I don't know, 2 or 3 other versions of this. This is the, these are really well done. Discord is just great at what they do. This is the clear. So I'm a dead-on completist with Lungfish. Anything and everything. It's got a nice insert too. They replicated the insert, which is also really cool. Yeah, greatest band to ever exist for me. So much groove. And this is the earlier stuff. This is one of the earliest records. The first on Discord. And yeah, this is the more rocking stuff. A little more rock and roll in their sound on this before they would, get real repetitive. Fantastic record. Talking Songs for Walking. And then also their record ACR 1999. This was unreleased material that they had done just before Necrophones was released in 2000. There are some versions of Necrophones songs on this as well. Necrophones being probably their hardest record to find. It's not been reissued ever. I do have an original copy of that, of course. My friend Joe, whenever he sees a copy, buys it, so he's hoarding them. So that's probably a big reason why they're hard to find. But this is on silver. Also very well done, really cool labels. And another very nice insert. The band there. And the words. This was their final release as a band. I think this came out after they were done, really. Because this came out after Feral Hymns. But this is really great. A little bit more out there stuff. Necrophones and Artificial Horizon, for example. If you're going to get into Lungfish, not really where you want to start. I would start with Indivisible. That's the best album for me, personally. Rainbows from Atoms is a really great rocking record. Maybe their best record, but I really love Indivisible when it comes to Lungfish. And then I ran into my friend Cheetah, who was the drummer for Five Times Down, the band I roadied for years. He was in Lunchbox looking for some records for his sister for Christmas. It was great to see him. Got to talk to him for, about 45 minutes. I hadn't seen him in a long time. And we were checking out at the counter, and Scott had just got a great CD collection in, and I saw these two just sitting there, these two promos from Cave In. This one's got Lift Off and Jupiter on it. And this one is Tides of Tomorrow, promo copy. And so they weren't even priced yet. I just grabbed them. I think he charged me $5. So that was another band I'm a completist with, Cave In. So that was really good timing. That's everything that's come in. Looking forward to next week. Going to be up in Rochester, New York, on a dig with Brandon, Dom, and Joe, Analog Archive. I think think we're gonna probably hit up. I think there's. We're not going to Great House of Guitars. That place. That's a day in itself. But we'll probably hit up 4 shops. There's Record Archive, Bop Shop, Hi-Fi Lounge, and then there's a new one that moved over by Bop Shop. I forget the name. So that should be festive, and then I'll show those digs here at the end of the year. I do still want to make one more end of year video showing some of like my best finds, like as far as the old stuff, rare stuff. See if I can't maybe do that today also. Anyway, peace.